Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to a new video. So yeah, I decided to use facecam for this one. I don't know why, but you know, it's the Christmas spirit and I just shaved my beard off, or whatever you could call that pathetic thing. And I decided to leave some on because it makes me look like Santa, or whatever it is. But anyways, this video is actually going to be about the new defenders, or semi-new defenders, I guess. As you can see, I'm currently wearing the Calphite defender, and that is the tier 90 version. So I'm just going to show you guys pretty much how to get them, I guess, and then how they look, and how to make them with the components. So anyways, first off, you need to have a dragon defender, so that's why I have this one here. Looks fancy enough, I guess. And then when you do barrels, while having this defender in your inventory, you only need to have it in your inventory. You have a 1 in 6 chance, if you kill all the brothers, to get a corrupted sigil. Now, I don't actually have that sigil to show you guys in the bag, but you do get it. And when you do get it, you use that sigil with another item that is a barrels item of the kind you want. Now, for example, if you want a ranged defender, you use a cavalry's crossbow. And if you want a magic defender, you use an Aramis wand, Aramis book, or Aramis staff, I think. Or accuracy, maybe that works as well, I think it does. And if you want a melee defender, you would obviously use a Torx hammer, Varrock's flail, or a Dark's axe. Now then, when you do offer that item, you pretty much destroy that item, then you do get this corrupted defender, the tier 70 defender, which looks like this pretty much. And I can actually, you know what, I'm just gonna do this. Should probably go to loadout instead. There we go, this is how it looks, the tier 70 defender, and I'm going to go over to offhand because all of these defenders are offhand, and they pretty much give 50% of the tier 70 normal weapons damage. So for example, let's say that this defender gives 168 damage. Now, a normal one-hand tier 70 weapon would give double that, but accuracy wise it gives exactly the same. So it's only damage wise that it's less. But the defenders also give a defensive bonus, which is armor as well as being able to use defensive abilities. Now this is very useful, by the way, for elite slay creatures. It's very good for those, but that's for another video, I guess. But I'm going to show you guys as well as the 70 defenders, the level 80 and the tier 90 defender, and how you want to combine them, and that's going to be it for this video. So as you can see, I actually have an ancient emblem here, and I do have the ancient lantern. That is the tier 80 magic defender. I'm also going to show you guys how that looks. It looks really cool, looks like a lantern, as you can see, inspired by the Virtus wand, I would guess. But yeah, they do look alike the tier weaponry that you do combine it with, I guess. So as you can see, by the way, the Calphite defender looks like this. It looks like a Dragon weapon that I'm wearing right now, but a bit less of a weapon and more like a dagger. Well, that is a weapon technically, but yeah, you get what I mean. Shorter version, a butter knife. And yeah, pretty much what you do when you do get any of the components is, as I said, combine it with a tier 80 if you do get a tier 80 defender piece. And for level 90, it's obviously a level 90, which is, for level 90, it is the Ascension crossbows, preferably because they're a lot cheaper, because you do offer them and break them for the defender. And for magic, for tier 90, it would be a singularity, a seismic singularity. And for tier 90 range, what? Melee, it's Drygors. And then for, what is it, tier 80, it's Virtus. Actually, it's not any of those for the tier 80, sorry. For the tier 80, you do need a chaotic splint. Now I'm gonna show you guys what a chaotic splint is. I don't have one in my bank because I actually used it on this defender right here. But I'm going to explain to you guys what it is. So if I press on this ancient emblem, and ancient emblem is actually the tier 80 defender component, and you get that from killing Nex. It has a 1 in 50 drop rate, not 100% confirmed, but it seems like it does have that from various different sources, Reddit and other YouTubers and stuff. And I think Twitter as well, from some JMods. But yeah, anyways, as you can see, when I do press on it and press combine, it does say you need a chaotic splint to complete your defender. Now, the tier 80 defender is the exception from the tier 70 and the tier 90 defenders, where you do need, for example, a Drygor, a seismic singularity, or an ascension crossbow. And for the tier 70 you would need a Dark's axe, Torx hammer, or whatever you want to make the defender. Now for the tier 80 defender, you don't need any of the Virtus weapons, you don't need the Starlight bow. What you do need though is a chaotic splint, and the chaotic splint you get from dungeoneering. It actually costs 150k tokens, so it's quite expensive. It's like 1.5 million dungeoneering experience. But yeah, that's how you make it, and when you do have one of those, you can combine it to any kind of defender. And how that will look when you do have the chaotic splint is like this. you get up this menu right here. You can choose what kind of defender you want. Now I don't want to press any of these because what it's going to do is it's going to look for that component in my bag. So if I would press, for example, ranged here, and my noxious bow would be completely repaired, it would actually destroy that and give me a tier 90 defender. It will do the same obviously with Ascension crossbows, or if I choose magic it will take my singularity and break that into a tier 90 defender. So it does cost quite a lot to make the tier 90 defender, except for the melee one. That one is the most cheap, I guess. It's like 20 mil. Because the Drago Rapiers or Maces or whatever, they're about 20 mil. But yeah, that's actually how you make the defenders. Now obviously I'm just gonna quickly go through what kind of monsters drop these. This tier 70 defenders is from doing Barrows Brothers. You get an increased chance of getting the actual sigil for every single brother you kill. As I said, it will give you a 1 in 6 chance if you do kill all of them, so essentially 1 in 6 chance. Then for the tier 80 Ancient Emblem, which is this one right here, it has a 1 in 50, not 100% confirmed, but like 99% confirmed tier from Nex. And I mean, I have 2 of them, and I think I was really lucky because I got them in like 40 kills. So yeah, that is really cool. I actually got it back to back, so I'm really happy with that. And the tier 90 defender piece is actually dropped from Calfight King, and I want to say something that I think should be patched. So if anyone that works at Jagex for some reason would watch this, the perfect shit-in, which is actually from Calfight King, can be dropped before you get the tier 80 defender. So if you do have the Barrows defender in your bag, it can actually give you the perfect shit-in. Now this is not how it's supposed to be made, I think, because to be able to get the 70 defender, you need to have a dragon defender in your bag, the previous tier pretty much. Now when you do want to get your tier 80 defender, which is the next component Ancient Emblem, you need to have your previous tiered defender in your bag, which is the Barrows defender. It doesn't work with the dragon defender, so it really does require your previous tier pretty much, the 70 tier, and you want the 80 tier. Now with Calfight King tier 90, that's not the case. You can use the tier 70, you don't need a tier 80, but I think they stated that you should be needing the 80 defender. But I actually did get my tier 90 defender before I got my tier 80, and I've seen a lot of people get that on Reddit as well, so it is confirmed that that's the case, and I do believe it's going to get patched pretty soon, or at least I hope it will. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, I guess. All the defenders look like this. Obviously, this is only the melee defender. Here we have the melee defender, then this is also the melee defender, and this is the magic defender. I could combine this one to like a ranged or a melee one, but I can't do that because I don't have 150k dungeoneering tokens, and I don't have the Barrows sigil to be able to show you guys the ranged defender and for Barrows and stuff. And I don't want to offer a singularity and or an Ascension crossbow right now, which is like 80 mil, because I'm not that rich at the moment and I couldn't really afford it, but I still wanted to make the video. But the defenders are really good, to be honest. They give about 50% damage, as I said, of a normal tier, like tier 70, 80 or 90 weapon, depending on what defender you use. And you can use the defensive abilities. Honestly, it is overall worse DPS than using 2 main hands, I would say. Well, one offhand and one main hand. Like, for example, using this would be more DPS than using this setup. But, yeah, you can use Revenge, and Revenge, obviously, if you don't know what that is, you're gonna have to Google that. But it essentially increases the damage you do by 10%, stacking up to 10 times for every single time you get hit. So you can essentially stack up that up to 100%, and I think during that short amount of time you will deal more damage wearing the defender than actually wearing 2 dual Drygors. But overall, in the long run, I don't think it's really worth it. But I think that these defenders are really strong when it comes to elite slayer creatures, because you do take a lot of damage from them, and these do block damage as well. So you're going to take a lot less damage using the defenders, but you're going to deal a bit less damage as well. So I guess that's the point of the defenders, just trading some damage for taking a bit less damage. But that's it for this video. Hope it was informative enough for you guys, and if you have any questions, please make sure to leave them in the comment section below. I will read every single comment. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and see you in the next one.